Hi, my name is CJ, and the topic that I have chosen is U.S. prison system issues. And I've chosen this because I feel as if it's something that's happening in America, but it's not really acknowledged. All right, so since 2002, the United States has been known to have the highest incarceration rate in the world, but not necessarily because we have the worst people in the world, but because we have the worst correctional system. The most operational definition of a prison that we can use to define it is where the inmates are said to be corrected and rehabilitated. When individuals break laws that uphold the common good, the conventional wisdom goes that they need to be punished or otherwise taught to be more socially cooperative and generous. But in comparison to other countries, and even in the eyes of many Americans, the words socially cooperative and generous don't exactly correlate with our prison because it can be actually correlated to more negative terms than good. And here's why. Basically, the golden rule: I'll treat others the way I want to be treated, which we have known growing up. So when you automatically commit a crime and admitted into prison, many staff who deal with the inmates enforce the idea that you are deemed lower and they strip you of your rights. And I thought a good example of this was in the Stanford Prison Experiment that you could watch on Netflix by Paul Zimbardo, was where he was trying to test human evil in a prison simulation between prisoners and guards. And so basically with so basically in the simulation they weren't really told what to do, so they had to do what felt right and what felt like a prison. And with the prisoners' basic needs stripped away from them, long story short, only within a day these guards felt power over the prisoners, forcing them to do unreasonable tasks. This is proven through many psychologists from Penn State especially, where they say in prisons we don't treat them like humans anymore. And what we need to understand is that the sentence is a punishment, and denying the prisoners right to freedom is okay, but however, it is not okay when we deny them their human rights and fundamental freedoms. Another reason why another prison issue within America is that they are ineffective at stopping crime again because of its conditions, which create tension in the outside world. A study revealed that 77% of state prisoners who were released in 2005 were rearrested in 2010, with 43% of those going back inside within the first year of their release. Meaning going to prison does not do criminals good because they end up going right back to the first point where they're acting like the people they were, and because of the way they were treated. Most of the time, we don't know what's going on behind these walls or what officers are letting slide, creating a feeling within someone, leaving them helpless, having to turn to ways that are considered wrong in society. And another reason is because our system lacks understanding of who these people are and why they turn to crime. U.S. prisons don't offer the support that most of the inmates need because the majority of the time, those entering the prison system typically have gone through some mental illness or some type of problem that have made them turn to crime, and etc. And studies have shown that that pain is bad even when you inflict pain on the wrongdoer, which many prisoners have to go through in the prison system. Many of the acts that happen between these walls can be considered inhumane and immoral. And many prisoners are expected to be transformed and rehabilitated, but how are they supposed to when they are deemed less and treated with utmost disrespect? Another reason is because of the philosophy of our prison system. If you compare an American prison cell to a Sweden jail cell, you can tell the automatic difference. And I think it's that we compare ourselves to other countries because we can learn what we're doing wrong and right, basically. And it obviously has clean beds, windows, a desk, and what could be described as a college dorm room. Compared to the Nordic model, high security prisons in the U.S. often involve caging and dehumanizing a prisoner, unlike how prisons in Nordic countries are designed to treat them as people with psychosocial needs that are to be carefully attended to. Sweden mainly focuses on rehabilitation, and only that by getting their prisoners back into shape and having open prisons, which means having to feel more freedom but to exercise it the right way, which our prisons don't do. As America's incarceration rates are increasing, Sweden's numbers have been dropping in the past decade. It is believed that because the way Sweden treats their prisoners, they feel as if they can restart their lives again, not having to turn to a world of crime. Sweden is doing way better than the US, and it shows through statistics. It's sad when they have to compare the US to Sweden because they claim one of the main philosophies of the US prison is to inflict pain and punishment. So concluding, we could say that the US prison system obviously has flaws that needs to be corrected, and it is because of the things that happen